Alright boys, welcome back to another tier list. Before we get into this though, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Only 27% of the people that watch my videos are subscribed. I'm trying to make something happen here, man. If you want to help me achieve my dreams, hit that subscribe button. It means the world to me. Today, we are ranking starters and their viability as far as it pertains to Draft League. Alright, we're going to start nice and simple. I'm not going to rate the megas because they're not in Paldea decks. I'm going to stick strictly to what is in Paldea decks because that's kind of what you guys see. It's kind of what I know at the moment. I haven't played a lot in that decks. I'm not going to pretend like I've used Mega Venusaur in the last 4 years. So we're going to stick to the regular starters. So starting off, go in order. We'll start with Venusaur. I think Venusaur is a solid C tier. Good Sunsweeper, has some defensive utility. I think Protect Subseed sets on Venusaur are underrated. It does have some sneaky bulk, and it's still a Pokemon that kept Toxic, I believe. So it actually is good on balanced teams. The downside of that, obviously, is balance is not very good in Generation 9. It's probably a good low tier mon as well. Just in general, I do like Venusaur, and I think it's a very underpriced Sunsweeper that gets the job done. It's hard to switch into ground, dual stabs, and Weather Ball. It's very difficult. Next up, Charizard. Charizard is pretty bad, man. Do I put him in F? Man. I'll put him in D because I don't think he's unusable. I do think he has some usability specifically in Sun. Outside of Sun, I'm not really sure how I feel about him. In Sun, good Life Orb Sweeper, good specs, not even Sweeper, good specs attacker, can probably get a KO or whatnot into certain teams if they have very few fire resist, and obviously gets things like Solar Beam to hit the waters in that Sun. It's just pretty frail, and it's a bad typing. You're gonna run boots, and even then, it doesn't even hit super hard. Like, you are kind of relying on that boosting item or solar power in some fashion. I think it is definitely a step below Venusaur. So that means we got Blastoise next, and I had the unfortunate, I don't even know what word I could possibly use to describe Blastoise. I used it and I didn't like it. It's strong, it's not strong. It gets Shell Smash now, which is cool. It definitely has Flip Turn, and I ran Boots, Rapid Spin, Flip Turn a whole lot. Blastoise is cool. He's not great though, but he's a water type with Rapid Spin, which is valuable, and you would be silly to say otherwise. I think he's slightly more valuable than Venusaur because you do not need some type of weather to really unlock what it actually does. It's a good supporting cast member, but that's all it'll ever be. Meganium sucks. We're moving on. I don't want to talk about stupid idiot Meganium. I don't like him. Typhlosion, it's just like, it's same boat as Charizard. Like, it's fine. Like, Specs Eruption sets are pretty cool. Scarf Eruption sets are pretty cool, so I think it's definitely better than Charizard, but I don't think it's still good, because in that case, your Scarf, you take rocks damage, you have to, like, build a team around keeping rocks off for your Typhlosion, which is a little it's not very good. Hisuian Typhlosion is definitely better. It's probably better than Venusaur, I would say, in my opinion. It definitely provides some value there. Ghost and Fire is just a very good stab combination, and its stab move, Infernal Parade, actually, I think there's literally a video on my channel against Owen in BBR Season 6, I don't remember, where I did not prep for Hisuian Typhlosion, and it put in work. I think it got 2 or 3 against me. So it is definitely one of those Pokemon that offensively has the tools to definitely put a dent in some teams. Feraligatr is kind of shit. I don't know a more gentle way to put it. I think it's probably better than Typhlosion. It's just so frail, and power creep has really not been kind to it. I remember it used to be like 13 points in Gen 6 in the old GBA days. It used to be like a B tier, I think is what it was, right? But no, it is not that. It's not very strong. It's not very good. Maybe you could get like a Swords Dance Aqua Jet KO or like a Dragon Dance Sweep, but it's slow. Too slow to take advantage of Dragon Dance. Really? What's its base speed? Like 79? It might even be slower than that. Let me see. 78. So it's not the worst speed in the world, but there are a lot of ways to outspeed that, especially in this generation. Paradox things, a lot of weather wars going on, stuff like that. I think that Feraligatr is not great. And what's its attack stat? And its attack's only 105. I thought it was 130. I was saying all the words that I was saying thinking it was 130. It's definitely a D tier. It's not very good. We got Sceptile next. Is Sceptile in the decks? Surely, because Blaziken is, and so is Swampert, so surely it is. We're just going through like all the bad ones here, man. I'm not a fan of Sceptile. I think it's Is it worse than Venusaur? I think I like Venusaur. I'm biased. I have a Venusaur plushie, guys. I will not lie. I like Venusaur a lot more than I like Sceptile. So this might be biased. I think Sceptile is a worse Venusaur. Is it better than Feraligatr? Probably. It provides a good speed tier, 120. You can still use fast subseed sets. That's definitely an option. But it has less usability because Venusaur can also be used in Sun teams and is also bulkier. Unburden's also kind of cool on Sceptile and definitely a set that's a little slept on. You can move him up to C tier, but I think he's ugly, so he's going to stay down here. And now we get to talk about where value lies. Not just is this an S tier Pokemon, but oh my gosh, I love Swampert. Swampert's easily a B tier, if not an A tier. He's my favorite starter, so I'm going to put him at A for now, but we'll bump him down as time goes on probably. Water Ground, fantastic defensive typing, only weak to grass, and obviously 4 times weak in that. He has very good defenses. I mean, not very good, but usable defenses. He has knockoff now. He has stealth rocks, obviously very reliable setter. Flip turn for momentum. He's very powerful stab combination with things like earthquake and liquidation. It even has setup options like bulk up, and you can run a sneaky banded Swampert set. I love this Pokemon. One of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Next up, we got Blaziken. So is this tier list based on the value it provides? Yeah, we'll go with that moving forward. We'll go based on the value of where it is, what value it provides, I guess. So Blaziken is gonna be 8. I don't know. Now, because you can just look at a tier list and say, hey, this is like a good Pokemon. Blaziken's A. I'm overthinking it. We're putting Blaziken in A. Blaziken's a crazy good Pokemon. Obviously, power creep has not been very kind to it, though. It's not very strong, and I think that's really what holds it back. I think it's a 120-110 split. It's locked into boosting item a lot of the times. Very frail defensively, but it can get in positions with things like Swords Dance to where its dual stabs can just win the game. Oh, Torterra! Oh man, I'm very biased. I love Torterra. We're sticking him in C. He got Shell Smash. He's so cool. Defensive viability. I used to always draft Torterra. Where am I putting him? Right here. I used to always draft Torterra as like my 3 or 4 pointer to check grounds, and it did so well. And now he's in like 9 or 10, and I haven't been able to justify getting him yet this gym. But don't you worry, he will be on a team this generation. I sure hope, at least, man. I miss Torterra. Infernape, shout out to my boy Jesse. Infernape's a cool guy. I don't know, B. He's a worse Blaziken. His power creep has not been kind. He's one of the Pokemon that I think got hit the most by power creep. Because before, like in Gen 6, you would be like, oh, Infernape, one of the best special attack or mixed attackers that we allow. And now it's like he's got 108 attacks. Like, that's not very good, right? 108? Is that even right? 104, only 104. Like, it's not a very powerful Pokemon at all. And it is usable. It's still good, but it's not as good as I think people think on the surface. I don't know. I still like him. Empoleon up next. Empoleon's cool. It got Roost this generation. I'm going to slot him in B. He's definitely better than all the C tiers. A strong water steel type, 2 of the best types in the game. Maybe they don't pair quite the best because it's a water type not resistant of fire, but it's still a good typing in general. It has rocks. It has, I believe, flip turn now. I don't know if it kept knockoff. Either way, that doesn't change if it's in B tier or not. Strong Pokemon, a little passive for the generation, but it's still it's a good pivot in general. We're gonna start flying through these because I don't want you guys to just sit here all day, and I know you guys are skipping through this damn video anyway. Superior is a Pokemon that I wish I could put in S tier, and if we include Terra, maybe I do put it in S tier, but I'm gonna put it in A tier now that we have Terra in mind. I don't know how I feel because Stellar Terra is pretty good. I'm putting it below Blaziken. I don't know. Superior is one of my favorite starters. It just doesn't have coverage anymore. So I guess this is with it Terraing in mind, which I didn't do for anything else, for Blastoise or for Torterra. So should I do that? Nah, we'll do no Terra. No Terra, this guy's kind of shitty. He's like C tier, man. Like, it's hard to put him in B tier. He's kind of bad with no Terra. He doesn't have coverage moves. It's just Dragon Pulse. He has Glare, which is good utility. Fast Subseed sets. It does a little better than Sceptile. A lot better than Sceptile because it's an actual bulky Pokemon with speed. And it's a very, not frail, very weak Pokemon until it gets some Leaf Storm boost. But obviously, there's some downsides to that. Not 100% accurate. Only 8 PP on the Leaf Storm. So, I don't know. Serp's cool, and I like it. And I definitely would draft it this generation for that 110-ish speed tier. I think it's 113. But I do think it provides less utility than the Pokemon above it. And I think you could damn near argue it provides less utility than Blastoise. Next up, Bernardo. Oh, I love Bernardo. But if we're talking no Terra, he's probably about right here. He's probably C tier. He doesn't provide utility. He's just a strong breaker for low tier, but he's super slow. And without Terra, he's not like got crazy bulk. Like he's not going to get one shot super easily, but he's also probably not going to tank 2 or whatever you want him to tank. So Imbor, while cool and while with Terra, we'd bump him up to S tier because you guys love Bernardo. He's going to be in C tier right now. Next up, we've got Samurai. Samurai's really bad, man. I don't think it's quite unusable like Meganium down there. Man, I dislike Meganium. I think it's a little better than Charizard, to be honest. We're gonna start him there. It's actually got some sneaky bulk, right? Yeah, I mean, 95, 85, 70 isn't great, but it's not bad. It's actually got 108 special attack, which I didn't know. And it has Grass Knot, which sounds like a stupid thing to mention, but it has Grass Knot, which helps it break waters. Break is a strong word. Helps it damage waters. So it's usable. I've actually used it before and quite enjoyed it. Hisui Samurai, baby! Let's go ahead and throw him in A tier. You could damn near put him in S tier, but I think he is slightly worse than Blaziken as far as value provides. I think Samurai, you know, Ceaseless Edge is awesome. Such a good move. It does have a chance to miss. Sharpness is so good. I do think it's a little overrated because it's a little weaker than people give it credit for, but it's bulky enough to run sets like AV effectively. It has options to be like Swords Dance Sucker Punch, Swords Dance Aqua Jet, Priority. It's a very good Pokemon. I wish its stats were a little bit better, but even with its stats being subpar at best, an A tier Pokemon is like awesome. You know what? It provides more value than Blaziken for sure. I don't know what I'm saying. It's top end A for sure. We might bump him up. What do we got now? Chestnut? Oh, that's my guy. I love Chestnut. How much do I love Chestnut, though? It provides more value than Serp. That's for damn sure. B? Nah, it's definitely C tier. It spikes. It's good defensively. His Spiky Shield is great on it. Was its signature move initially. Obviously, it's transitioned since then. It's a good Pokemon. Good. That's it. That's it, I guess. Delphox, I'm not too big of a fan of. And remember, we're talking strictly no Terra here, but it is probably better than everything in D tier. I'm still going to put it in D because I do think I like Venusaur better than it. But I think there's definitely an argument to be made that it could be the bottom of C. It's very strong. Fire Psychic's actually not that bad of a typing. I think it gets access to Scorching Sands as well. And Plot and Calm Mind, if I'm not mistaken. You know, at 104 base speed tier, what's his special attack stat? Hold on, I might have convinced myself. 114? And it gets Focus Blast too? I don't know what that's great for off the top of my head. We'll throw him in C. But I do think he provides less value than the things above him, in my opinion. Could you put him above Typhlosion Hisui? Could we rearrange some stuff here? That? No, probably not. Maybe. I don't know. We'll leave it like that. And we've got Grin next. Grin, I think, is the first S tier. I think this Pokemon is crazy. Obviously, having two amazing abilities, Battle Bond and Protein, to prep for is obviously a headache. It has great speed, 122, great move pool, and now has access to Sludge Wave, so physical and special sets can be whatever. You don't have to run mixed with Gunk anymore. You can just run special with Sludge Wave if you want. Very good Specs user, very good Spikes lead. Greninja does it all, man. It's a Pokemon that I've loved ever since I started playing Pokemon Draft League, even when you couldn't use Protein on it, and it was like a 14-point Pokemon. Now, he's at the top. I love Grin so much, man. Very good Pokemon. Decidueye provides more utility than all of these. I'm just kind of sticking things at the top of C. I like Decidueye. He's not super defensive, but he has Defog, he has U-Turn, Spirit Shackle, Grass Ghost. Isn't the worst typing in the world. I'll throw him C. I'm just kind of clumping all the grasses together at this point, though. Hisui and Decidueye, I had the unfortunate mispleasure of using. I don't think it's very good. I think it's like D tier. I think it's probably better than Sceptile, but I think there's definitely an argument there. It's just not very good, man. But it does provide defog, and I think that's what's keeping it above Sceptile for me. Next up, Incineroar. Sorry, Wolfie. This is not VGC. Incineroar is going to go... I mean, it's still pretty good. It provides a lot of utility. Parting Shot... I almost said Fake Out. I've been playing so much VGC recently, man. Parting Shot, Willow. It definitely provides more utility than Bernardo, but I think less than Blastoise. And you know what? Let's ship some stuff around here. I think this is where I'm sitting right now. You know what? As much as I dislike Blastoise, he does provide quite a bit of utility. All right, next up, Primarina. Primarina is really good. I damn near want to put it A tier. It's at worst top of B, but it's so good, and it got Calm Mind now. Moonblast, Draining Kiss. I mean, Dual Stab, Water Fairy is just like impossible to switch into. Moonblast, one of the most spammable moves in the game. Calm Mind with already great split depth lets you set up on pretty much any special attacker you want. It is a little slow. It has access to Flip Turn now, though. Encore is also a good disruptor sculptor for it. I even think it has haze, so it has a lot of options. It's not just specs click button Pokemon. There's definitely some deeper stuff to it here in Draft League. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I like its value a lot this generation. Water Fairy also is super anti-meta, and it has been for a while, like this whole generation. Rillaboom, my beloved. Is this right? Is Rillaboom the next one? Did I skip one? No. Rillaboom, my beloved. Welcome to A tier. I love Rillaboom. I know a lot of people feel very not great about him because he like doesn't have rock coverage for some. Why doesn't this guy have like rock slide or something? I don't. He can't hit fires at all. He just U-turns on them. He knockoffs. But boy, does he set the grassy terrain great, and does he have grassy glide for sure. And it is weak now, and maybe he should not be above the guys that he's above. But I love Rillaboom, so he's gonna be an A tier. Damn it, it's my tier list. Cinderace is also very good, definitely better than Rillaboom. Cinderace provides like court change, fast U-turn. It's a crazy good speed tier in this dex. 119 is very fast. Obviously it has protein or libero, U-turn. It doesn't really need too many moves. It has U-turn, it has Pyro Ball, it has some utility with like Super Fang, Taunt, and obviously I already mentioned court change. It's a good Pokemon. I've enjoyed using it in the past. Very powerful. It even has Swords Dance now, I think, which I don't know that I've seen ran very often, because usually you can just click a button with Pyro Ball and have basically no switch in. So very hard to stop this Pokemon for sure. Inteleon, I despise Inteleon. I really dislike this Pokemon, but it is a very good speed tier. It is very fast. That's the same thing, John. But my personal bias is gonna get in the way on my own tier list, guys. What do? I really dislike Inteleon, man, but I do know that it's definitely... Is it a C tier? Is it a C tier? I dislike it more than Torterra. I'll be damned if I put Inteleon over Torterra in any tier list. So that's my reasoning for putting him below Torterra. And finally, we get to this generation's starters. We're talking about Meowscarada. Meowscarada is definitely an A tier. At worst, damn near an S tier. S tier? We'll say S tier, man. Meowscarada is so very good. For the value it provides, protein very good. The coverage that it gets triple axle, hit grasses, flyings, U-turn for momentum, taunt. It's a great spike setter. I don't think I need to explain to you why Meowscarada is so good. I do think I need to explain to you that I was not a Meowscarada believer until recently. I used it in like a speed tour, and it just is so difficult for opponents to deal with. It is such a good lead, one of the best leads in the game, man. It's so hard for people to deal with this in any capacity as far as a league goes. Really have to game plan for it. So I think Meowscarada is certainly an S tier. Skeledirge without Terra, obviously not as good, but still usable. Like, I still do think the Skeledirge has a use because how good Torch Song is, and because of Boots existing. I think I would rather have Dirge than Serp. I do think I would rather have Incineroar because of the dark typing and how good that dark typing is, and Parting Shot momentum and all of that. Knockoff, obviously. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but we're gonna put him there. I'm not so confident in my Chestnut rating here, man. Maybe we move Chestnut down a couple notches, or my Decidueye rating, huh? I don't know. We'll leave it there. And then lastly, finally, we'll do Quaquaval. Quaquaval is one of the best noob killer mons, and he's gonna go in A tier, but where at in A tier? I am putting him below Rillaboom because I think Rillaboom's better for his price point, even though I went back and forth on if this tier list involves that or not. I think it's a great noob killer Pokemon. Definitely goes in A tier. And look, should Swampert and Prim be in B tier? Probably. So this is what the final tier list is gonna be, guys. It was kind of scatterbrained all over the place. Let me know what you guys think down below. Remember, I did this with no Terra in mind. Let me know your tier list. Join the John Jr. Discord server down in the description below and send me your tier list. Thank you guys so much for watching. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.